Been a year. This is week 53. So big love to Suzannah Sangara for the last hour or so of chat, but I thought we'd do a little bit of a surprise thing because two of my good friends, well actually one of, 3, 4, 5 of my good friends, well lots of my good friends have stuff out, and there's someone who's just had an album out, and they've released this album. I don't know why I'm being so fucking coy, it's right here. They've released this album as a sequel to one of the biggest albums that has defined my life and defined the life of lives of lots of generations. I'm a bit pissed actually. This is going to be fun. Anyway, surprise chats. Reconnect. Surprise chats, you're in. Nitin Sawhney is going to be joining me live now to talk about this amazing album. Let me just request his friendship. He's probably seen how pissed I am and said, but let's see. Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, really good, thanks. So yeah, that's interesting because you kind of built a bit of mystery into what you were saying, but right behind you, you had my album.
Completely fucked it. Like completely fucked the surprise. It's just like there's somebody joining me.
Even I was wondering who you're talking about until I saw that. Anyway. How you doing anyway? You all right?
Bruv, nice haircut. I'm so impressed with your haircuts during this lockdown. Like I'm so fucking impressed.
I do this myself so badly. It's so random.
Mate, fuck off. Like I mean, like that is such a good haircut considering lockdown. It's ridiculous.
It really isn't a good
like, have you seen this pot noodle I've got on my fucking head? It's nuts. But how are you, brother? Release day was last Thursday.
Yeah, no, last Friday. It was last Friday.
Was it?
So yeah,
okay.
It came out then. Yeah, no, I'm really happy. It's gone. Yeah, it's been amazing. The response has been fantastic. I really wasn't expecting the kind of response I've had. I mean, it's been through the roof. So many people have been really nice about the album. It's had great reviews. There's been a lot of.
I love how you like that. They've been really nice about the album because, like, oh yeah, because I thought it was gonna be shit.
You don't know. I mean, the thing is, it's like, I mean, you know, I kind of pretty much get postnatal depression after I kind of release an album. So you never know. It's like you're kind of releasing it out into the world. It's a crazy thing. But yeah, I mean, having said that, I was reliant on some incredible talent on the album. So I knew it was. I knew people would get that, and thankfully they did.
I mean, yeah. Sohan in the comments says congratulations, Nitin. So yes, congratulations. But also, it's either really brave or foolhardy to say this is the fucking sequel to the biggest album. I mean, with all due respect, I know you've had a big career, but it's like Beyond Skin was your fucking Purple Rain, quite frankly, in my opinion.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, Beyond Skin was kind of. It's interesting because, like, Beyond Skin was the most cathartic and personal album. I mean, even with that album, I had no idea people were going to like it. I mean, you know, because I made it in my bedroom. It was kind of a weird album as far as I was concerned. I had all these interludes. You know, my parents were on there. I was kind of. It was like a scrapbook of my kind of perspective on identity. And so you don't know what people are going to think. You just make something because you want to make it and because it feels right to do. And
it's a snapshot of time that everyone resonated with in 1999. Bruv, I mean, come on. This album, this one, has its buddy here. I'm so
jealous I haven't even got one of those.
And you know what? I remember you signing this going, what the fuck? I haven't seen this forever.
No.
And then you haven't got this, so I'm just like, you know, there you go.
I have got that now.
You have got that now. Okay.
Thankfully, of Immigrants. But yeah, I mean, it's, you know, it's a strange thing because obviously I'm going back in time. I mean, when we performed live at the Royal Albert Hall with Beyond Skin, it was an amazing thing to go back in time and revisit the person I was when I was sitting in a bedroom, you know, kind of in this house that I lived in at the time. And just kind of to be that person again and to get into that mindset was the thing. And then to make a sequel from that. So it's kind of tapping into kind of a person that you were a very long time ago and what you felt about the world a very long time ago. And then trying to make it connect with who you are now. And that's interesting because you look at the world and how the world has changed and all the shit that's happened, which is, a lot of it's pretty disgusting. And so
I mean, it's all the fucking same as it was in the 70s, quite frankly.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you know, this was the thing because back in the 70s you had you had the kind of, you know, Rock Against Racism. You had, I mean, I was talking to Tom Robinson the other day, who was obviously very much a big part of the Rock Against Racism movement in the 70s when the National Front were really strong. And so it was amazing chatting to him and his memories and his perspective on things. But yeah, I mean, yeah, look at what's going on today. I mean, with Priti Patel, with all of the shit that is going, absolute bollocks that is going on, where they're demonizing again asylum seekers, when they're using this fucking word illegal, when you know, that is absolute nonsense. These, you know, asylum seekers have to be in, sorry, I'll go off on one.
No, please go.
Fucking country that they are claiming asylum from to get asylum. So
makes
you know,
no fucking
now
sense.
She's trying to make it so that the way in which you get to a country is the problem. So it's like, yeah, right, when you're escaping from you know, a war, you know, or when your life is in threat, you know, what you need to do is sign all these fucking forms to keep Priti Patel happy with their total. Anyway, sorry, I won't go off on
No,
that.
please. This is the fucking danger of talking to a mate, because it's just like, yo, fuck you. But you know what? I appreciate that. But equally, the thing is you drawing. Okay, so like I said before, going back to the albums, and obviously it's called Immigrants for a fucking reason, and Beyond Skin was called something for a fucking reason. It's either really foolhardy or really brave to say, I'm going to fucking follow up my Purple Rain. Because Prince couldn't do it. Prince fucking followed it up with Graffiti Bridge, and that was a shit show. But you did it.
Do you think so? I don't know. It's kind of like, you know, that's all I can do is I make work, and I work with people that I really respect. I mean, I see Abby Samper is on right now, and has joined us, and she's an incredible talent. I mean, I've been very fortunate to be blessed by you know, being joined by phenomenal voices, phenomenal people who have incredible things to say as well. And so it's a real collective effort. And I think, you know, I'm a producer, I'm a writer, but I think I wouldn't have been able to make this album anything like it is without all those people, you know, really working to create something special and something different.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a collaborative venture, but I think that to capture that mood, like I think that with Beyond Skin, I was able to sit with it for years, and it's obviously this big fucking, you know, the same with Purple Rain. I'm going to make this analogy all fucking chat, so sorry, bro. It's like, you know, Purple Rain is just like, there's the big hits, and then you get into it, you're like, oh shit, this is better. And so you sit with it for a long time, and it means different things over the years. So I will have to sit with this as well to get that same fucking meaning. But like I said before, it's really brave to fucking say, right, this is the official follow-up. Now, was it marketing, or was it actually like you saying, fuck, I want to, now's the time to do this shit?
I mean, I've been feeling angry. You know, I can't make an album unless I'm in a very strongly emotional place. So I guess, you know, it came from anger and catharsis. You know, every album, like, it's been 6 years since I made an album. You know, Dystopian Dream came out a very long time ago, and that was largely that came from my feelings about my dad passing away. So you know, the feelings that I have in this album and what I'm expressing and the people I work with on this album, it's because of the fact that I feel so strongly and passionately. I mean, yeah, I mean, you know, that album, Beyond Skin, I mean, I announced that I was going to make this album at the Beyond Skin live show at the Royal Albert Hall.
I was there. It was amazing. Yes.
And oh, thank you. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it was so I kind of said that I was going to do it. And so I already had that name. I already had the thought about making an album about immigrants or relating to immigration. And so then everything evolved from that, you know, and that's what happened with Beyond Skin as well. There was a title first. And then I kind of thought, right, I'm gonna, what do I feel about those words? And so you find the musical vocabulary to express your thoughts and feelings around it.
So you're setting yourself a goal, or saying, I guess it's a kind of like you open the box and you say publicly, I have done my next album will be this, and you're like, oh fuck, it's got to be this.
Well, I don't set a goal. What I do is I engage with the process. So right. I kind of think, okay, well, this is going to be a process that I'm going to enjoy, and the people that I brought into this album are people that I respect a lot and think a lot of, and really wanted to kind of have musical and literal conversations with. So because I think they have a lot to say, both musically and as people. So I suppose that was really the basis of it. And again, I kind of stylistically used the same kind of thing I did on Beyond Skin, bringing in interludes and stuff like that to kind of to frame a lot of the thoughts and the ideas behind the album.
Yeah, I sort of went through, because I'm a fucking nerd, and I went through both albums, and I sort of listened to them in parallel. And then, because I'm also a bastard.
In parallel,
so I was like,
you mean you had them both on at the same fucking time?
I did. I A-B'd them. I fucking A-B'd them. I was like, I literally did, because I was just like, okay, I know where this, because I'm a complete dickhead, right? So of course I've got to do this. And there's obvious ties. Like, the obvious ones are like Spec is on both albums, right? So I can see that. And then there's like, so Vi reminds me of the end of Homelands, for example. So there's like ties between the two, like a cat's cradle almost.
And that's with Nina Miranda, who's an incredible singer,
right? Who
sung and wrote the end of that end part of Homelands in Portuguese. So
it's the same fucking vocalist, so it makes sense, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And she was on stage at the Albert Hall too.
That's right. Yeah.
For the first time being performed live, right?
Yeah, yeah.
See, I know my shit, motherfucker. Yeah. But also, like, I've got to say, there's, and forgive me for saying this, because I've got to balance my blowing smoke up your ass with a little bit of critique, just because, you know, it's us. But there's a certain amount of, not age, maturity that's come with this chapter of this story. It's like, it's not retelling the story. Yeah, exactly. So the DMB had the DMB vibe, and that's kind of been subdued a little bit and it's been almost swapped out for a whole classical section, which is really interesting, because it's like, okay, motherfucker's doing a soundtrack for himself with the film in his head.
Yeah, I mean, you know, as you know, I mean, I'm a film composer, so I always have a film in my head. I mean, as opposed to you have a party in your head going on the whole time, which is quite evident. But yeah, I kind of I've got a kind of cinematic approach to a lot of things. So that's probably because also I work with people like Akram Khan a lot, or have done over the years, and you know, a lot with theatre. And obviously I've done a lot of films, including, you know, Mowgli and so on with Andy Serkis. And you know, so the way I think is very cinematic. So I think it's probably become more so over the years. So, and probably less kind of interested in what is in vogue, or what is kind of cool at the time. I mean, you know, I love club music. I love great sounds. I love great production. But we've yet to
go to a rave together, which is going to happen once the world opens up. That's going to fucking happen, bro. Just going to warn you.
That'll be interesting. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like, so I mean, I think it's all about just finding a vocabulary to express things. And I you know, I'm not that person that I was back in 1999. I'm you know, I'm a different human being, but with all those experiences and thoughts and feelings that have, you know, that have happened. So yeah.
Was it a deliberate thing to sort of choose certain vocalists like Spec, like Nina Miranda, that were on that album? Did you sort of go, right, I've worked with that crew.
I've exploited.
Yeah, I've exploited these motherfuckers. I will exploit them again. Yes, that's the key to linking these two albums together. But was that a sort of a conscious decision?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Spec is incredible, you know, and he's a friend, and he's somebody I've known for a very long time. You know, I knew him back.
And I can say this publicly because you said it on stage at the Albert Hall, is your publisher.
Yeah, he's my publisher as well.
So there you go.
We don't work directly together. I mean, he works for the publishing company I'm signed to. But I mean, obviously, I've known him since the early, I think mid-90s, around Displacing the Priest, when about 96. So yeah, and he's brilliant. I mean, you know, listen to him rap. He's a fantastic rapper. I mean, a lot of people compare him to Q-Tip, and he's got his own kind of flow, and I really love the way he raps. And you know, on Pilgrim, on Beyond Skin, I mean, it's a weird thing because I made that album, you know, largely in my bedroom, like I said. So, you know, I'd have people just kind of coming in and recording on an SM58.
That sounds so dodgy. It sounds like you're a pervert that just had something recorded in your background.
Well, I'd take my inspiration from you, mate. Having seen some of your interviews, amazing stuff.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you know, there you go. But also, I think there's a certain. You see, okay, so I'm not going to labor this point anymore. I probably fucking will. But you know, the comparison between the two, right? Like that whole motivation. because of the scrappy nature of putting shit together and making it happen through sheer will, you know, is something. But you can afford to be less forceful now because you're not in a bedroom. You've got a studio. You've got access to all of these things. So to create that urgency again must have been really fucking hard.
If you look at my Twitter, you know what I'm like.
Oh, wait, okay. Your anger's one thing. Fair enough. Okay, yeah, fine. Yeah, okay. So it's your anger that led to this shit. Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, I can't, you know, I'm an insomniac. I kind of wake up when I do sleep, I wake up in the morning pissed off because of what's going on, because of the fact that we have a government where we have a fucking prime minister who just went up in front of everyone and said, isn't it, you know, greed is a good thing. I mean, he's trying to, it sounds like Gordon Gekko from Wall Street, but he's without the brains. I mean, it's like, it's just embarrassing because, you know, bigotry seems to be, and prejudice seems to be in vogue, not just in vogue, but it seems to dictate what is going to happen in this country all the time. And I just feel, I feel so embarrassed every day looking at the news. I feel embarrassed for humanity. I feel embarrassed for like, to be part of a country which is increasingly not only isolating itself, but stigmatizing people who need help, you know. And it's like that inequity drives everything. I mean, it's like, you know, creativity. I mean, I was talking to somebody about this earlier. You know, the civil rights movement, I mean, you had incredible music come out of that in America, but I do feel like I don't even hear enough outrage in music at the moment. I don't feel people are really expressing. I mean, where are people talking about what, you know, about immigration and what's going on and how they are being demonized and what's going on with asylum seekers and what's going on with refugees and what's happening to people on a human level, and why the fuck the whole time we're constantly valuing people on the basis of proximity or nationalism or stupid shit that has nothing to do with being kind or compassionate or thoughtful about other people. And it just gets worse all the time. And yet, you know, people, the smugness that you see in this government, you know, talking as if they have some kind of God-given right to actually sit in judgment on everyone on the basis of where they're born or who they are. You know, that's what makes me sick. And so yeah, I feel like I feel an obligation to as an artist to write about that and to comment on it.
And yet, in such a beautiful way, it's not fucking punk, which I'd imagine. It's like, okay, so here's the thing. Okay, so the opening of Beyond Skin, the track, right, has that whole fucking beat that's just like not in 4/4. It's like 3/4, whatever the fuck it is.
You talk about Broken Skin.
The last track, Beyond Skin.
Oh yeah, it's in 5/4.
5/4. Okay, so that beat, which I'll play just so everyone knows what the fuck I'm talking about, is like not. Wait. Okay, my computer's crashing. Playing Abby's voice. There you go. So this.
2, 3, 4, 5, 1. Yeah. Mind you, we got late.
So that was like a big, in my head was a big fuck you, right? And this is so placid, like in terms of your anger. So to go for, it's a weird fucking vortex, right? Where you've got this anger and it manifests in like beauty.
Anger is a very,
How do you do that?
Yeah, anger is a very one-dimensional thing. And if anger tends to obscure nuance, it tends to obscure, you know, you can't be subtle with anger. You know, I mean, like if you want to create layers of statement, of kind of conversation, of thoughts, of dynamic, of kind of feeling, of catharsis, you can't do that through just one dimension of anger. Anger smothers everything. You know, the second you're expressing, you're shouting. I mean, you know, if you stand in front of someone and they're shouting at you, that's the only thing you're going to hear. You're not going to hear anything else. And so it's important, I think, that you kind of you step back sometimes and kind of look at what you have to say. And I think probably being in therapy kind of helps with that. But I kind of feel, yeah, I mean, I'm still angry. I feel a lot of anger, but I try to find different colors of expression so that that's not going to be a veil over everything that I do.
I guess maybe because you've got the outlet that is creative, you can make an impact in a different way. with that anger. You can sort of transmutate. What's the word I'm looking for? Transmorph?
Transcend?
No, when you turn one
Transmutate.
state to another.
Oh, yeah, transmutate. Yeah.
Transmutate. You could transmutate that anger into something that's positive rather than just fully destructive.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, it was kind of, in a way, I felt like I mean, it's not a literal celebration, but I kind of wanted to feel that the album was you know, I mean, for example, if you're constantly angry about things, you're dealing with an agenda that somebody else is setting because you're on the defensive. You know, for me, I wanted to make a statement, a positive statement of what people feel. You know, and so I was joined by a lot of voices. I mean, there is frustration on there. There is, you know, in the lyrics, there are a lot of thoughts about how it feels to be othered by society, but at the same time, it's not dictating, you know, the mood of everything and the music.
Well, and I think I've got it. Like I said, I've had like 20 years to sit with Beyond Skin, and then be fucked up on night buses and whatever getting home to have the lyrics permeate my brain. So I need that much more time with this track, you know, with this album. I think that I'll understand it more as time goes on. And I was discussing, like I said, that like having a sequel to such a big album is a big fucking ask. And I think you've done really well. I do miss the weirdness. I'll be honest with you, that whole fucking break and the whole D&B thing. I miss that shit. But you know, as you said, you're a different person now.
No, I think I'm still pretty weird. But I mean, I kind of don't. I mean, the album came out the way it did. You know, it's not that I.
By the way, I'm not cussing it at all.
No. Yeah, but what I'm saying is that it's just like I don't really know what's going to come out when I that's what I mean. I engage with the process. I don't have a goal in mind. So what comes out comes out. But I mean, if I engage with it today and start it again, it might be a very different mood. I don't know. It just came out the way it did.
That sounds very... There's a joke in there, which I'm going to stop myself from saying.
Go for it.
No. It was all about pooping. But the point is that I don't want to equate those two things because this is a fucking brilliant album. But equally, I mean, you know, hearing your mom again, and this isn't me cussing your mom, by the way. This isn't a mom joke. This is like a genuine thing. It's like hearing your parents in the first album fuck me up massively. Like Nostalgia is a track that fucks me up every time I hear it because of the whole parental thing. And you know this, I've drunkenly dribbled in your ear about this several times.
Literally.
Yeah, exactly. But hearing her again on this was just like, ah, you bastard, you've done it again.
Thank you. Well, I mean, it's kind of, I mean, like I said, the big thing with my mum was that she was there and in 2019, you came to that gig at the Royal Albert Hall, and you know, it was quite a big deal that she was there when I was playing my dad's voice from Beyond Skin at the beginning of The Immigrant, and I think, you know, she's contextualizing that track, Movement Variation 1, which I played with Anna Phoebe and Ashwin Srinivasan. The thing about that track is it's kind of, in a way, it's kind of memories of piano lessons and kind of early days of really loving music and loving a lot of Western classical music as well. And my mum kind of, you know, she was talking about her struggles. And I think that my mum and dad struggled a great deal to get me piano lessons, to kind of, you know, get me to, I suppose, into music. And so it's only through their sacrifices, is what I'm saying, is that I'm able to make music and create anyway.
That's fucking beautiful. I mean, and I hope you don't mind me getting too personal, but like, it must be so like cathartic, or not cathartic, but like give them a sense of validation to hear their voices in your work.
Well, my dad's passed away now, but
when like back then, I mean, I'm not I mean, no shit, Sherlock, but what about back then?
Yeah, I mean, like my mum, I mean, she's so, you know, she's incredibly expressive in saying how much she feels connected to this album and the work that I do. But I mean, and it's quite amazing because, you know, this morning Mary Ann Hobbs, for example, played that track on Six Music, and I said, could you play it with my mum speaking? Could you make sure that you do that if you're going to play it? And she was very accommodating, and And so then
and big up Marianne. I love Marianne, by the way.
She's amazing. And she actually said to me, "This is the time that I'm going to play the track, so you can let your mum know." And so I told my mum so that she could listen, and she was really excited to hear her voice on the radio. So it's kind of, but I mean, this is the thing. I mean, it's like, I want to pay respect to that first generation of immigrants who came over here to make our lives better. And the thing is, there is so much shit. I mean, right now, Priti Patel is kind of talking about, she's changing the law so that it would be okay to treat another Windrush generation like shit. That instead of apologizing for the way in which they have treated the Windrush generation, they are deliberately making it so that it's even harder to be. I mean, like for example, I mean, I made a joke about it on Twitter today that it'd be great, wouldn't it, if MPs, once they're elected, they can still be removed at any time you want by us. And there she is doing that to asylum seekers, saying that even if they are accepted, even if they're granted asylum, even if they become citizens of this country, they can at any time be removed. So there's never a sense of safety. And yet she's a fucking hypocrite, because there she is saying that her concern was all about, these traffickers. She wanted them to be the people that she was targeting. But actually, it's so clear from today and what she's trying to do, that she's actually targeting the very people that we should be helping. And so, there she's got a clandestine channel threat commander, which is just so ridiculous, because it is intimidation, it is bullying, and she is a proven bully, as we all know. That's been officially proven. And so you have somebody there who is a bully dictating what happens to people who are incredibly vulnerable and are coming to us for help. And that's the kind of thing that makes me sick.
Yeah, but also it's pulling the fucking ladder up, because that's exactly where her family came from. Being a Ugandan refugee, it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
And then her dad goes on to become a UKIP candidate.
Was gonna be until she fucking said stop doing this shit.
He was. Well, I think he was. Yeah, that's right. And then it would have been awkward for her. That's absolutely correct. It would have been awkward for her in terms of her position. But I mean, that says it all, doesn't it? I mean, look at how was she raised?
And again, talking to you and knowing you and like hearing all this fucking passion. And I'm not saying the album doesn't have passion. It's chill as fuck, bro. Like, you could listen to that having a glass of red wine rather than throwing a fucking Molotov cocktail at a statue.
Yeah, but things are disguised sometimes, aren't they? Feelings come in many different forms.
So this is like an undercover Molotov cocktail, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm smiling, but I have so much anger right now at you directly. No.
Okay, fine. I mean, I could take the anger, bruv. You know what I mean? It's totally fine. Anoushka's in the comments saying it's a nice early morning album. That's fucking jokes.
Well, that's good. I mean, I'm very, very happy that it is. I mean, you know what? I want people to enjoy it on whatever level they want. I mean, I made an album that I felt, came from my own honesty and the honesty of the people who worked with me on this album. And I'm very proud of that. So it has its own truth. It's not, it's not trying to be anything, but I think if people get something from it, which they seem to be, I mean, it's been amazing. The response on Twitter has been insane and Instagram. So, it's great that people are getting something from it.
So Imran Khan, the journalist, is sending me a load of fucking questions. And he's like literally messaging, ask my question. But I think we touched on this. So Imran, shut up. There's the question here. Patel, Sunak, as in Priti Patel, Rishi Sunak, and a whole bunch of people that look like us are making it difficult for us. And then there's a follow-up. Making it difficult for us. How do you feel about them? I think he answered that, bro. I don't know why you fucking said ask the question, but yeah. How do you feel about Priti Patel and Rishi Sunak?
I mean, it's just the thing is, I don't really define people by, I mean, I made an album called Beyond Skin. So I don't really define people by their skin color. I mean, I define.
What a great get out clause. I made an album called this. Listen to that.
So the thing is, as Martin Luther King said, he's more interested in what is in people's hearts than he is by the color of their skin. And he judges their character in that way, and I totally agree with that. I think, to quote Martin Luther King is probably the best response I could give. Is that I don't really consider the color of the skin of Rishi Sunak and Priti Patel. I look at what they're doing to all these people who are incredibly vulnerable for many different reasons.
Yeah, totally. Right. I need to pee, but I'm going to just
Go
pull
for it.
someone in. Wait. I'm going to just wait there. How do I do this? Shit. Hang on. Let me just find this. Shit. Hang on a second. Hang on. We've got another surprise, and I'm going to pull this person in because they also have a release. There you go. Hi.
Wow. It works.
Look at this. It works really well.
Amazing.
So
Yeah.
my whole existence here is to help you go pee, Nerm.
Yeah, exactly. Right, I'm going to unplug Anoushka Shankar, Nitin Sawhney, Anoushka Shankar.
Can you please make sure you mute?
I'm going to go to the loop. Okay, bye.
Nitin, first of all, I haven't told you in voice, I told you in text, but congratulations, the album.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Well, congratulations on your new release as well, though. That's
thank you.
Fantastic and very powerful. Yeah, really, really powerful stuff. I mean, I've listened to it quite a few times. It's really incredible. I mean, and Alev is amazing. I mean, it's just a really, but I mean, it's great to hear you speaking. I love that you're using your voice in this way. It's so, it feels so honest and true and brave. You know, everything that you're doing at the moment is amazing. On that level.
Thank you. I was going to say all of that to you.
Oh, great. Okay. Well,
I love your album. So honestly, like the thing that saved me is Zubin, my older son, is so into like Radio 1 level pop right now. And he's got more control of the system than I do. And it's tricky to find the kind of happy medium at the moment where it's something that we're all happy with at the same time. And your album has saved me this week.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, that's very cool. Oh, I'm so glad. Oh, that's amazing.
That's really good.
Yeah, well, he's he's incredible. He's got so much to say already. So it's kind of like, very cool. So how have you been? You all right?
I've been good. I mean, yeah, we released the single on Monday and like the response has been really, really good.
Yeah,
and
I've seen.
It just feels like amazing to have released it. Alev's amazing, as you said. Nikita Gill is incredible. Like I didn't even know I'd get to work with her, so that was really, really beautiful to get to do that. But I just feel good. I moved house a couple of weeks ago and
oh wow. Oh yeah, you've finally done that.
Finally.
That's been in the works for a while. Yeah. That's very cool. Brilliant.
Yeah. So how are you feeling this week after the album's been out? I don't know if you told Nerm already, but tell me. I'm telling you.
I feel really good. I mean, it's like it's out there. It's in the world. So I'm really proud of it. I'm very pleased with everything that's happened around it. I mean, it's great. We're playing. We're in fact going to be playing on later this Friday with Jules, with Iona Whitter-Johnson, who's incredible. So we're doing that, and then we've got the San Juan and Maker Playhouse. We're actually performing there. I mean, it's a really nice. There's nice things happening around the album. But it's it feels really good. In a way, I don't know yet. I kind of feel like I only know about albums as you know yourself. When you have a little bit of distance from them, you can really look at them. I think I'm still too close to it at the moment.
So I've got a question. Maybe if Nerm already asked this before I shut up, tell me to shut up. But I love the two movements with Anna Phoebe and Iona Whitter-Johnson.
You like? Sorry, you love what?
I love the two different movements and how you did those two different versions with Iona and Anna. And like, was there a deep creative thought process, or was it just a really nice way to fill up space on an album that you wrote one piano line and then other people did two other versions of it for you?
Well, no, I mean, the thing is that they were so different because I kind of, I'd written this piano. It was just a piano piece and it's called Movement, and we put that out as a single as well. But it was amazing seeing two very different responses to that track, and Iona is incredible. What she wrote was phenomenal, and her cello playing, and I've known her a long time, and obviously she works with you, and she's an incredible musician and singer, and so it was fantastic what she did. And then Anna did something very, very different, which was much more entrenched as a very, very classical piece. So it was lovely. It was great to record all of that live and film it live at Wigmore Hall, which is just such a, as you know, it's a beautiful venue. It's a stunning place. So that was very cool. But yeah. So how do you feel now that you've got this new release out?
I mean, it's part of a process towards a full re-release of Love Letters in June, which is like a Love Letters PF.
Oh, amazing.
Get it? PF. So it's got like 2 new songs and a couple of remixes. And so Sister Suzannah, it just feels amazing to get it up because of the context, like you know, having heard it. It's something that I've been thinking about a lot. And I mean, I know Nathan, you have to go, but no, we can maybe chat a bit more about that later. But yeah, I just feel really connected at the moment because of the kind of feedback I'm getting from women in particular. So yeah, it just feels amazing. Nerm seems to want to say something.
No, I'm just being silent because I'm listening to you fuckers, and I think that the whole screen should flip. But like, I feel like a weird observer that's overseeing you fuckers. So it's really odd.
But also, Poorna, I think, wants to join our threesome. But
Let's add Poorna. Nitin, do you know Poorna?
I don't. Have we met? I don't know.
Poorna, join our threesome, and I'll introduce you when it becomes a foursome. That would be amazing. I wish we could do that.
It's just like some Instagram gangbang business.
I know. And Alev's here, and is Nikita here? I saw a few people tag her, but
yeah. Certainly, we can get on this. Yeah. But yeah, so both of you have releases. So Nitin's album was like on Friday. Anoushka's single was on Monday. And like the fascinating thing is that like Nitin, you're doing something so like it's an overarching concept. Oh my god!
Wait, is it happening?
Yes, you're here. Oh my god!
Can you guys see me? Because I can't see you.
You're frozen.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Nitin, meet Poorna, meet Nitin.
Nitin, Poorna, Nitin.
I literally can't see you guys.
You're.
Oh my god! Hi, I just woke up.
I didn't have my hair down. My hair twin. I'm sorry.
Oh, my hair twin. And hold on, I'm just going out so that the whole family doesn't.
So Nitin, Poorna is Riz's mum from the night of.
This is my hair twin. That's all you need to know.
Yes, that's all I do.
You know, okay, so you know the night of that Riz.
Yeah.
So that's Riz's mum.
Oh, I see. Oh, in the. Oh, right. You got you.
There must be a better introduction that's out there. There must be.
Well, happy fictitious motherhood.
Hi guys! I was so excited to see you guys.
Hi! Don't be in California and show off that fucking blue sky and palm.
Oh right, no, totally, totally just showing off.
So Poorna, have you heard Nitin's album, by the way?
No. Hi, Nitin.
Hi.
We've never met.
We haven't.
We've corresponded because of Nirbhaya in a weird way, long years ago, but so great to see you.
Okay. Yeah, great to meet you as well.
That's how Anoushka and I met, yeah.
Wow. Oh, no way.
Yeah.
I thought you guys met before that.
No, you think I met everyone before I met them.
Okay, so Nitin, the first time you met Anoushka, did she remember you the next time you met her?
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
Because Anoushka doesn't remember fucking anybody at all.
The first time I met anyone. Nitin, when was the first time we met?
The first time we met was actually at Sue George's gig.
Concert. Okay.
Yeah.
So
At the Roundhouse at Camden.
Yeah. So that was the first time we met. I was going to say that, but I thought I'd be wrong because I'm always wrong.
Anoushka's really good at remembering people.
Wait, are you bad, Anoushka?
I'm really bad. I literally
really.
Like, just Nerm has been a witness to like 8 episodes of me sticking out my hand to meet someone and them going, oh, we already met at.
I do that only with my husband, but no one else.
Nitin does that to me all the time. He's like, who's this fucking idiot in front of me? Because there's people around going, what?
Oh, Nikita is here. Hi, Nikita.
Yeah.
Hey, Nikita.
I love you guys so much.
Be nice in the comments, please. There must be someone is saying I have a bad hair day, which I guess I am.
You never have a bad hair day.
Thank you, love. Thank you.
And neither does Nitin because he cuts his own hair, whereas me, I'm fucked.
You guys are doing. So I feel like you guys are talking about like amazing albums and work, and I should just get the fuck out of here.
How's your collarbone?
How is your collarbone?
Yeah. I want to know also. Tell me about your bone.
Oh, that's very funny.
Okay?
Yes, slightly better.
Hang on a minute. Poorna, you were in Better Call Saul.
Yes.
What?
Are you reading the comments? I was in a couple. I don't know what season. I have no memory.
Because I love that. That's amazing. But I'm trying to think. Oh my God, I feel crap that I
I
can't remember.
was the doctor who you didn't think was speaking Spanish, but then I bust into Spanish to speak to the gangster brothers.
I think I remember. Yeah. Which, but you don't know which season.
I really have no
Nathan, I'm
wicked.
looking it up. I'm looking it up right
I
now.
love Better Call Saul. It's fantastic. And is it? Yeah, I think it's coming back soon, isn't it?
I have no idea.
Oh, right. But I like it's really good. So yeah,
All right, guys.
a lot of people.
Okay, season 4, episode 2, and season 4, episode 7.
There you go.
Yeah.
Someone
Oh,
wants
okay.
to know if Never Have I Ever season 2 is done filming yet.
We just finished filming on Friday, guys.
Yay! I want.
Wow.
We finished filming. It was I do think season 2 is actually much better, and not much better. Not like anyway. Blah blah. I think it's going to be fun.
That's
Poorna,
season 2.
Poorna,
Yeah.
Is that season 2?
Have you got anything to add about this album?
No, but I am singing on Anoushka's next. Right, Anoushka?
Speaking? Can you sing?
I am singing. Nope.
Okay. Nice.
Nope. No, she's asked me to.
I've asked her.
So
So
I
one
agree.
second, guys. Sorry, not guys. Everybody.
Yeah.
Nitin,
Yeah.
you've got a listening party with Tim Burgess right now.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Everyone should go join.
Yeah. But thanks, guys. It's lovely to meet you, Poorna, and thanks. Amazing to see you again, Nerm, and brilliant always to see you, Anoushka.
Wait,
You take care. I don't even know how to leave.
Oh my
Okay,
God, was this
I'll
it?
kick you out. I'll kick you out, Nitin.
Oh, cool.
Actually, how do I kick you out? Shit. Hang
I
on.
think he might have to make that choice.
Maybe I just
Hang
I'll
on.
hit the cross
Shit.
at the top.
No, I can't hit the cross because then I'll end
I'm
it.
hitting it.
Eli!
I'm leaving.
Okay, bye.
How do I leave?
Hey, you're gone.
Hi! It's us
Hi
three.
guys, it's just us. That's so funny.
That's so funny. Nerm just asked me like yesterday to crash Nitin's thing if I
Oh,
felt.
and now I'm
So now
crashing
you're
yours.
crashing mine, so I don't know.
Do you
if
guys want to have a separate one-on-one?
No, threesomes are good for a while.
That's good.
And then maybe I want a one-on-one. I don't know.
I mean,
Well,
it's-
I can with my neck and collarbone situation.
If you can, I mean, with the injury and all.
Is that something we can talk about? The collarbone thing?
Not really.
Okay,
No.
fine. Was it some sort of adventurous upside down tactics, and
Yeah,
the roof
okay, good.
ribbons collapsed because it wasn't a load bearing structure?
Load-bearing structure. That is the
Yes,
sexiest
in fact,
one has
that's
ever
an
heard.
accurate way of putting things. Yes. Yeah.
Load-bearing
When you
structure
try
is
and
nice.
have adventurous sex at 48, and you're like, you know what? It's not going to work out. It's not working out.
I love how this conversation just went fucking
You
left.
can leave for a room and we all stop being nice people. It's like, honestly, like Nerm fucked up my friendship with Nitin, or like brought it to another dimension.
Why?
I've been close friends with Nitin for like 15 years
Yeah.
until the day that Nerm and Nitin and I were in the same room. And that was the first point Nitin even like realized that I had this other side to my personality. Because it turns out that up until that point, my whole dynamic with Nitin was like lucid and eloquent and deep conversations.
And then we spoke about double-ended dildos and dungeons and all sorts of shit. And then it's just like, what the fuck?
Did he
So, yeah.
like you more or less, or did you just collapse? Did his vision of you collapse?
We're still friends, so at least it stayed the same. At least.
And I mean, he could have exited this chat before.
That's true. That's true.
He
It was like,
had
and
a
yes,
really...
Jagesh. Sorry, Jagesh says you are all Indians. Yes, we are all individuals.
You are all Indian. Did he say Indians or individuals?
Oh no, I was quoting Monty Python. Yes, we are all individuals. I was just
I
sort of
thought you said you were all idiots.
Indians.
I think he wanted to write idiot would be more accurate.
The spell check just kicked in as Indians.
Spell check.
So we're
Yeah.
talking because
Why are you
came out on
talking?
Monday. So
Say it again.
we're talking because Sister Suzannah came out on Monday, which is
Yes.
why I crashed this thing. So
Oh yes.
entered
yes.
you to say something wonderful about Sister Suzannah because I'm so
Right. Well, first of all,
Sorry, Poorna, have you heard it?
yes.
Okay, excellent.
But don't say anything
Yes.
else, Poorna.
Holy shit.
Oh yeah, none of
I'm
the
so glad
none
you
of that.
told me that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's more coming about Sister.
I think it's like a deep exploration, and I think I don't know about you, Anoushka, but I think more and more what is known as, I guess, sisterhood or just women reaching out to women has become stronger and more present in my life, you know, as years. And I don't know why. I used to have a lot of amazing guy anyway. But I think it's a deep, deep celebration of the intensely intimate bond that women have through so much, through either me and you with sexual violence, or through love, or through loss. It's a bond that needs no words, and I think Sister Suzannah just is that.
Thank you. I didn't realize you didn't know how we became friends, Nerm, but that was literally how Poorna and I became friends, was in the time that Poorna was writing Nirbhaya, because I had released my video about abuse.
I didn't write it, but I put it together. Yeah.
And sorry, you were working.
Was that your Bombay show when we all met?
That was the first time we met in person that night when you were there.
Yes.
But we had emailed and made friends like digitally.
Yes.
She wrote to me planning Nirbhaya, and I guess the context of where I was at with releasing my video and where she was at with making that piece of work, we sort of
connected hard.
I remember we were, Anoushka and I, first of all, we have the same ring, which I don't have now because I just finished shooting. We have that South Indian U-shaped ring, the Nully ring. So we bonded over that. But someone asked us, do you remember? She said, how did you two meet? And we just kind of stared at each other, because I don't know if anyone knew our stories, but we just, you know, I think we met through the time of Nirbhaya and that thing.
And trauma and fucking turning it into art, which is just...
Right.
Trust, right? Because I think that year was the first... It wasn't like now. Many, many less people had spoken about their experiences at that point. So there was a sort of leaning on each other, even not knowing each other.
Right.
That happened like across oceans where we were writing.
It's true. And I also feel like Anoushka was one of the first ones from our community to go first. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think I used the first way too many times in that sentence. But and we were creating Nirbhaya while when her video came out, and it's just the, you know, the act of, and I agree, the climate was so different, but the act of coming out with your own story was such a massively radical, scary act. And I just remember while we were in the process of creating it, when Anoushka came out, we were like, okay, that's one more voice. That's one more voice. And slowly others, you know, came out. So it's a very powerful connection.
And I think that's, I mean, Sister Suzannah is a very, very different layer of that. But
yes, tell me.
Over this last year in particular, you know, with lockdown and with the kind of statistics about how, you know, the way that situations of domestic abuse, for example, phone calls to domestic violence helplines went up 60% during lockdown, you know,
right.
Like insane figures like that, where, and then certain very prominent people in the public eye have shared their stories over the last few months, even in ways that go under the surface of that top layer of abuse that people can very commonly understand more easily.
Yeah.
But where it can start from, where it can build from, or how else it can exist, you know, outside of that kind of very obvious worst layers of abuse, but like what is coercive control, what is like that insidious nature of how things can start and set up. So a song like Sister Suzannah, the kind of words that we're saying are trying to just present like things that aren't often spoken about, I guess. Again, you know, it's just about, again, giving words to stuff that doesn't always have words, because I feel like I've had enough experience in the past, and you have, that when we give words to things, you allow other people to give words to them as well. And
yeah, and I am going to make a leap. You know, I think one thing that I really am picking up from this Stop Asian Hate that's happening here so strongly is that the Asian community, I know we use Asian community differently, and you guys use it differently in England, we use it differently here, but there's such a feeling like there's been so much pain and hurt and not enough validation of those things, because it always seems small in comparison to the bigger issues of violence here, right? And I think that also happens so much within relationship, which is there's actually a layer of violence which you don't even think you are allowed to own, because there's a whole other layer of much more severe violence that feels like it has a lot of air, but the insidiousness of a low degree of constant violence is, I think, there's still shame around talking about that. There's still not even shame. I think women are so scared to take up space about those kind of issues because the bigger issues are still not being talked about. So I don't know. How do you feel about that, Anoushka?
I mean, I had
a
situation on a personal level that's not something I can talk about yet, but I relate to what you're saying, because even as an adult woman that's done the years of therapy, has had the experience. I still had a situation a couple of weeks ago where, for a personal context, I was speaking to someone about my experiences, and out of nowhere came this voice in my head that went, "What are you making such a fuss about? Like, your story isn't that bad. Your story isn't as bad as other people's stories. You know, that person's probably heard so many worse stories. You know, what the fuck are you doing? You know?" And like, it's incredible. At least I've done the work and can then hear that as a voice that's unhelpful and harmful, you know, but even with that will still come in. And so of course, like, it's hard when we're in the face of, like, the world is cracking wide open. Like, you know, how do you take space with your own pain and with your own experience when it doesn't feel big enough? You know, there's no such thing, of course, but I don't know if that answered a question.
No, totally.
What do you think, Nerm?
Yeah, Nerm.
Oh, mate, I'm listening. What the fuck? Don't fucking, what? Just because I'm the big image on top. It's really weird. I wish you could shift focus on this fucker. It's really, I was just like, what am I doing? I was just like, do this. I'm happy to listen and learn, quite frankly.
No, it's just this thing of like, how do you validate your own pain, and how do you make it, or give yourself permission to take up space with it?
I think that some of my closest friends, Anoushka included, know about my own personal pain, which I'm just not ready to fucking talk about at all. So I'm just like not ready to even entertain that. So I'd much rather enjoy life and power through and let the golden threads of it come through in art, and just sort of challenging that. And equally,
that's what Anoushka does as well. Yeah,
I was going to say exactly, and you both do that exactly with Nirbhaya, with with love letters, with everything. It's like the same thing. It manifests in a different way. So my fuck you approach is very much part of that.
Totally.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Have you heard Sister Suzannah?
You literally just asked me that.
I'm gonna go we again. Wait, I need to we again.
How's the old monk and coke doing?
It's bourbon, basket. It's American bourbon. I'll have you know.
American bourbon.
Yes, but I'm gonna let you guys talk. Not you guys. Sorry.
You have to pee again?
I do. I have a bladder the size of a thimble, so I will go wee.
Makes my bladder seem like.
I just want to clarify.
Kids.
I was gonna say, ladies' bits are way better than men's bits. Men's bits are useless.
Can you? I can still jump on a trampoline. That's all that matters.
Oh, I can't. I can jump on a trampoline, or I can't laugh too hard.
This is the benefits of a cesarean. Okay? Like,
yes,
I had my stomach cut open twice, and I nearly died the first time. But I can still jump on a trampoline.
Oh no, those days. I mean, I can, and I will.
I mean, you guys, I'm gonna leave you to it. I can't contribute anything to this chat at all. Contribute?
No. Wait. I want you guys to explore Sister Suzannah, so I might just...
Yeah, wait till I come back, and then we'll...
Oh, yes.
Entertain me while he pees, and then... Hi.
That's right.
Do you want to see my professional setup? I've got...
Yes.
I've got a book, and a pile of papers, and 14 DVDs, and 2 more books. So, yeah, you're balancing over here at eye level.
I'm at my newly built, gazebo.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
That's right. You guys are the first visitors in it.
And fucking I hate you.
Even the word gazebo is so like... We just learned that it's called a gazebo through its construction.
See, there's just certain moments of like, why the fuck did I move from California? Which is like
That's
when you're sat in London on a grey day and someone shows you their gazebo.
And wait, this whole, because I get it as well, Anushka. You definitely have like a full-on British accent at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, I had one of those like Madonna comments where people were like, what's with the fucking accent? And I'm like,
It just happens, right?
But my mouth is schizophrenic anyway because I've moved across. Well, you did that too, right? So when you move as a kid.
Well, I did, and I try not to be around any British person too long because my accent will change, and it's very, like I was shooting a show called Defending Jacob, and I was with Michelle Dockery a lot.
Are you in that show?
She's amazing.
I am.
I'll watch it now because I didn't know you were in it, so now I'll watch it.
Okay. And my accent would change. If I spoke to her for too long, I'd come into the scene and they'd be like, your accent is totally off.
Yeah.
And then when I went to, we did Nirbhaya in Ireland, I had a full-on Irish accent.
That's funny. I pick up an Irish accent too. It's just so seductive that I just want to fall into it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You know,
Full-on.
someone wants you to speak in Tamil. Tamil le peshe karna?
Ayo.
Ido
Oh my God. I feel like I'm under the gun. Seri, pesare. Konju pesare.
Yeah. Just
So weird. It means you're a good listener and communicator. That's very sweet. Thank you. All right, I'll let you guys get to it then and speak about your beautiful album, and I'll just listen in. I love you guys.
Thank you, Poorna. It's lovely seeing you.
This is the best crash ever.
By the way, I want to say that it's really sad that Anushka's hair is not out because you guys are total fucking hair twins.
You know, my
haircuts and washing and
it's true. It's true. So my mother went to see Anushka in Toronto, and the entire time she's like, she just couldn't believe how similar.
You weren't the same person. And why didn't you learn sitar, bastard? Why are you an actor, bastard? Do sitar.
So nice. Look at her. You could have been her. You are her. Okay, guys. I'll see you soon. I don't know how to leave, but
oh, wait, how do I kick you out? I can't kick you out. I've just like you got to voluntarily leave.
I got it. Love you guys. Bye.
Mwah.
Get Nikita on here. I see her in the comments hiding out.
First of all, let's talk about Sister Suzannah.
Okay, be serious.
One-on-one. Huh. Duo. Before we get all to the group action, let's do the one-on-one. Huh.
One-on-one.
One-on-one.
You and me.
This all seems so fucking arbitrary now.
Yeah, it's stupid. Yeah.
It's just like, you had to single out on Monday. No. Yeah, Monday.
Yes, Monday.
Yes. I love there's a comment here. How can she be so graceful at all times? Yes.
You should see me slipping and falling. It's very graceful. Yeah.
So, single. Tell me about the single. Come on. Okay. Let's do some word chat. Come on.
The single is out, Sister Suzannah. So basically, I wrote it along with Alev Lenz, who I co-wrote Love Letters, the EP I released last year with, and she co-produced it with me. She sings on a few of those songs.
Is Alev here? Hang on. Should we get her on?
Alev might still be here. And she's amazing. She's an amazing artist, but she's a really amazing producer. Like I really like what she brings out of me as well. Like I really like working with her because I feel like it's been really... Hello.
Did you just I'm like in the bedroom.
Every time I compliment someone, they just show up from the dark.
Oh my God, you can be happy I'm not actually on the toilet. That's usually where I am when I'm on Instagram.
So Alev Lenz, everybody. This is Alev Lenz, right?
Alev.
Straight from the bed.
She's amazing.
You surprised me. I was just watching. Thank you. And I was crying. Oh my God, it was so funny.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
I don't think anyone noticed when I said that Nerm was going to contribute. Get it? Because
I did.
We were talking about our bits falling apart, and then you left, and I was like, contribute, and you didn't even hear me do that. It was so clever.
I got it.
So
I was crying more because this whole thing was just...
Well, so now you can sit here in silence like I do and listen to Anushka compliment you.
Okay.
No, it doesn't work, yeah.
No, Nikita, stay on. We're going to come to you.
Yeah, Nikita, don't go anywhere.
And Nikita, while you can't join, update your app. Uncle IT over here. Update kar bastard.
He's my IT uncle. I literally text him going, tech support.
Nikita, I haven't banned you. Sorry. I was going to say, Nikita, update your app and then come join us. Sorry, please continue, everybody.
I was saying how amazing Alev was in many ways, but also as a producer, because I feel like she's helped me make and release music that has been deceptively simple and really, really intimate and kind of straightforward in a way. And so even coming to talking about Sister Suzannah from a technical point of view, it feels like it's just looped sitar for 6 minutes and repetitive vocals, but it's not just that. But normal older me would go, well, I can't do that. I've got to add, I've got to change it, I've got to make it clever, I've got to do more, I've got to whatever. What, you put your hand up? I don't know what to do with
because
that.
there's 3 of us. I don't know what the hell the fuck is this. I don't want to talk over women talking. What the fuck? I'm putting my hand up out of respect. Anyway, basket. So the point is that dance music is loops forever anyway. So it's just the same thing. It's like, you shouldn't be afraid of those loops. Let me mansplain this to you.
Thank you. I'm glad to know that we have permission to have loops sitar on the album. Alev, we should do that.
We should have thought about this. That's brilliant.
Let's do it. But yeah, so Sister Suzannah is kind of like, on some level, it sounds like a very simple song, and then on top of this kind of simple melody is this sort of very straight performance of words that sound kind of lighthearted, and they're fucking not. But I like that we didn't have to kind of hammer that home in any particular way. We just allowed it to exist. I'm losing my thought because that thing of reading comments and talking is really hard.
Multitasking.
Yeah, multitasking. I failed.
Multi-country. Yeah. Anyway, so yes.
So yeah, I mean, but the song. I mean, we know about it, both of you, but so I feel like I'm talking to you. I don't know what to say.
Okay. No, it's like literally live, and there's hundreds of people watching, which is very funny.
Hi, everyone. I'm talking to you.
Which is really lovely because you're like just before with Nitin there as well. I was like crying because it was just I actually felt because these aren't usually this funny to be honest, but I actually felt like being somewhere with like real people.
Yeah.
Because it just usually, I mean, this is so depressing.
But that's why I'm like, watch Nerm's interviews every week because they're just hilarious. Like he's rude as fuck. I can't watch them with my kids in the same room every time. Like,
I was actually going to go on a peeing contest with you, Nerm, because that's how we met.
Did we?
Yeah, we met on like Anoushka's house party, and we were both like we're super fast peers, and then we made like a peeing contest who pees faster.
Nerm doesn't remember meeting Alev. Okay, Anandi's here. Sorry,
hey,
Anandi. Sorry.
No, that's great. Hi, Anandi.
I don't remember that peeing contest at all. And Anandi, hi.
Nerm meet Anandi. Anandi meet Nerm. Anandi.
There were several runs of peeing.
So we had a pee off. Fuck. That whole thing with Satnam, when he's like, you took pictures of your ass and put them on my phone. I was like, really? I did that? Like, what the fuck?
I'm glad you did that to him and not to me ever.
So
I wouldn't do that.
Anandi is singing on Sister Suzannah.
The beautiful Indian vocals that you thought was me for a second, and I laughed my ass off.
So,
yes.
I just want to clarify this. Sorry for talking over you. I apologize, but I'm going to. So, Anoushka has recently become a vocalist, right? Which I think is fucking hilarious. And there is a whole a point where she did a cover version of Bjork's Yoga. And she did all the backing vocals, all these Indian harmonies and all this kind of beauty. And now Anoushka's a spoken word artist. And the fact that Anandi did the BVs, the backing vocals, is incredible because it supports the whole structure of this spoken word. So yes, thank you.
Amazing. She sings on the other song that will come out in June as well, which we could talk about again when we get to that point.
And Anoushka already sang on Lovable, which is on Love Letters.
And she sounds like a little girl. It's ridiculous.
Because I talk like this, and then I talk
It's like, what the fuck? Where did Prince come from in Anoushka's throat?
Nerves. It's nerves. It's not being a singer and being nervous. So as soon as I try and sing, it goes up to here because I'm shitting myself. So
no, it's a beautiful quality of high frequencies that needed to be captured.
And on that note, I think I'm going to add our dear friend. Let's see if they join.
And she's going to say hello, and I'll get really happy.
Hello.
Hi!
I was like, how'd that happen? It's not working.
This is amazing, right?
Update the app. Updated the wrong app.
Like Nikita's on Grinder or some shit.
Grinder.
I don't think I have the right accessories for Grinder. I'm just saying.
My head went to chains first, and then I realized you didn't mean to.
That says a lot about you, love.
Yeah, well, I'm on Grinder. What can I say?
It's so good to see.
Hi, congratulations! Oh. We haven't had a phone call together.
No,
that's
we
true.
haven't.
Happy release day.
Happy release week. I love you guys.
So can I just introduce everybody?
Yes.
Anoushka Shankar, obviously, whose EP was this, but then there's a new song out called Sister Suzannah, which Nikita wrote the lyrics for, and Alev also co-wrote and produced this. So it's all fam jams.
Yeah, and Nerm.
And this kind of appendage of a male that's sat here doing nothing, which is very accurate. I'm going to go pee again.
I'm going to go pee again. He
His
does
appendage,
this about 6 times
It's
every
been,
live.
it's so
Yeah.
often.
He just gets shit-faced and he just needs to pee. So
He's got the bladder of a squirrel. That's
yeah,
Should we
I
move?
thought I had a bladder like a thimble, but then Nerm literally is just kind of like mine is Mount Everest or something.
Should we
like
be
that.
worried about, like, is that, or is that okay?
Do you think? Or
The-
what about
what?
my bladder? Or
No, about Nerm's bladder.
We should all worry about Norm's bladder, like sitting over here waiting for him to finish peeing. I bet he'd love that, wouldn't he?
so listen, since we're here with other people too, but whatever. I love you guys so much, and I'm so happy that this thing is out, and this is like our Zooms through which we wrote this, except with Nerm as well. But I'm really
That is true.
and
And those were the best Zooms.
They really were. We gotta have another Zoom.
Yeah. We need to have a release party Zoom.
Yes, a proper one. Hopefully we can like actually meet.
Yeah, well, that'd be nice.
ooh, Alex has to get over here for that to happen.
I know. And for that to happen, I don't know what needs to happen. We're in another lockdown, and
Oh, I
I
think
feel like traveling for this year is still probably going to be a bit tricky. A few more months maybe, and we'll get there.
Yeah. Someone called Kunal. I think you've said a few times for me to answer your question, but I missed your question. I'm sorry. If you type it one more time, I will try and answer. Yeah.
Quite fittingly, I'm wearing this
Tell us what you're
T-shirt.
wearing.
It's from La Batard. I'm going to try to tag it.
Is it the one you were wearing in our meeting today?
I don't think I got changed. I'm like, I don't think I do that. I don't think. I mean, I've probably been wearing this for 2 days. Actually, it's fresh. I put it on this morning. Yeah. But
Cool.
it says protect, respect, protect, listen, and it's and if you buy from it, I've just put it in there. It actually also donates to victims of domestic violence. It's a really I just wear this a lot, but so since we're on here now and talking about Sister Suzannah and the Southall Sister
Sisters, yeah.
the Sisters charity that you put up as well, I thought that was great to highlight places that that do so much work.
Well, yeah, and we chose Southall Black Sisters to talk about as part of the release with Sister Suzannah. Well, obviously one, because they're an amazing organization, but two, you know, women's organizations, domestic violence shelters, refuges have all been really, really negatively impacted by a lack of funding over this last year. But ones that cater to people of color and minorities are disproportionately, of course, even more terribly affected. So Southall Black Sisters is one such really amazing organization that does a lot of work in the brown and black communities in London, and so they're a really good one if people are looking for someone to support.
OG feminists. Like original gangster feminists. Yes.
Tell us, Nerm.
Yeah, let me mansplain this. I'm going to go get some ice now as well. Sorry, I'm going to cough again.
No. Tell us more.
No, come back.
Tell us more. It's more fun.
You were telling us about the feminisms.
There's no one to take the piss out of if you go away.
He's gone now.
So, Nikita, I just actually saw a question earlier in the comments where it said, well, I don't know if it was a question, but it kind of said like, so you're writing lyrics for singers now. But I thought it was a nice sort of question. Do you think, because this was your first foray into music and it's so beautiful, are you like, I'm going to do this again?
And who with?
I just, I think this was such a beautiful experience during such a difficult time. And I think every single Zoom I had with you guys, I felt so nourished after that, which speaks a lot to our creative process together of this song. I think there was so much nourishment and there was so much holding space for each other. And that's what the song does, doesn't it? It holds space for a lot of like victims of coercive control. And I think that's so important and so beautiful how we managed to do that.
And also like this time period, again, obviously everywhere in the world there's different, cycles of this stuff, but three of us out of this chat are currently in London or in the UK. Sorry, Nikita. And sorry, because London. But like there has been an atmosphere again, on the back of some horrible things happening, and it just felt, sometimes in times of great pain, whether that's personal or atmospheric through what's going on in the world, like it just can be so healing, or at least it's something to do to get to put it into a piece of work as well, and like transmutate. I guess, Nerm, you were saying earlier, I spoke with Nitin, but like to get to turn it into something that also may be a part of turning it into something else somewhere else in some other way. But
Yeah.
the timing was really weird because we've been talking about this song for so long.
Yeah.
But then this time, I know at least in my own life, a lot of you need to hear something like this right now. And it's kind of struck a nerve, I think. And yeah.
Well, I mean, on a whole other flip, is that it's a fucking great song. Is the point? It's like a really amazing fucking tune, and I think that the kind of impact it's had, just listening to the lyrics and all of that kind of, and I'm going to be the dickhead male in this conversation and say that it's beyond.
Well, who else is gonna?
I can play that role. It's fine. I play it with aplomb. But the point is that it's a fucking amazing tune. And so having Alev's like input in the creative process and then Nikita writing the words is like a storm of fucking amazingness.
It's a storm. It feels like a storm. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And in fact, like, I mean, I don't know how much of it you can talk about, but the video is fucking awesome too. So the way that the way that Nikita, for example, would put poetry in a certain structure on a page with different words in certain spacing adds to how you read it, the cadence, the kind of flow of the words. And the video takes that and makes it a whole other fucking thing.
The lyric is really good. That was an Alev save. It's her friend who has done her videos in the past, and she put us in touch, and he's amazing.
I just added him as well, John Sanders.
Yeah, nice.
Johnny.
But yeah, it just felt like, having Nikita's words was, taking out friendship, but it's such a coup to get like Nikita and have her words on the song. And it just feels like it's nice to have a lyric video where we can also, in case people need that visual as well, to really take in the words, because it can kind of flow a different way maybe when you're listening. I really love how it brings that focus to her words as well.
How was it sort of doing an additional track to the EP? Because this EP came out like a year ago.
Do you remember back in the day when we were working on Love Letters 20 eons ago, when I just couldn't decide whether I wanted it to be an album or an EP, and I've never been so back and forth about this kind of thing before. But anyway, I settled on it being an EP because the music was so personal and so delicate. I just didn't want to be touring it for 2 years if I didn't want to be, for example. So I thought an EP was a safer way to just put out the music that I creatively needed to make, but also be able to keep it simple. But then having done that, it just felt like the story wasn't done. There were other pieces that were in me, like Sister Suzannah, like the other one that will come out in June, that need to come out. But they're part of Love Letters. Like Love Letters is so much about like women's experiences, women holding each other through processes, that I couldn't possibly put a song like Sister Suzannah anywhere else. It just feels like it's a part of the story. So we've kind of gone for a re-release concept.
And I mean, like, if George Lucas can revisit Star Wars 1 billion fucking times, then, everyone can revisit their art as they see fit.
That is true. Very true.
I think this was such a lovely experience, and what's really beautiful about it is Alev, your music, the way you arrange the song, and Anoushka, just your voice is just so stunning. Like when I was writing it, I kept thinking, oh God, I have to do justice to all this beauty which already exists. Like I have to create something which matches it. How am I going to do it? And it just, I feel like it was you guys made it so fun and easy, You just made it so fun and easy. You really did. And it's a heavy song. It is. I was actually observing something which I wanted to bring up, and I think I'm going to be a bit naughty and I'm going to say it. I've been reading some of the comments, and I've been getting some of these comments on my page as well. But it's really interesting to see some of the men out themselves by saying, this is such a romantic song.
Wasn't that amazing?
Someone said that?
Love lyrics.
Really?
Yeah. And then one person thought he was really wise and said, some women are going to be really upset by these words that you're saying. Not everyone.
Wait, so the irony is completely fucking lost on people.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
The fuck?
I read a comment where it was like, wow, that's weird to what a way to showcase your chauvinistic views. I was like, I know. I was like, okay. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm a bit flabbergasted by that. I mean, someone literally just, I was like, what the fuck?
It's phenomenal. Very quickly, what's your advice to next gen writers and poets? Anybody? Quick ones, Nikita?
Just be brave and be prepared that people are not, there are going to be people who won't like what you have to say. Like that's an experience.
For sure.
Especially if you're a woman writer, people are going to just be over there going, this is all nonsense. But yeah, you don't listen to them. You just, keep creating because your work is needed. So just be brave with it.
Yeah. I mean, I would add to that, just find your own truth, because there's a whole business side to making art as well, but at its core, the art needs you in it, and no one else can do that. And what you have to say is unique. And so if you can find that, be committed as well. So be brave and be committed to that truth.
And also, if anyone has a question, hit the little question mark button.
Kunal is going to die. He's been probably hitting the question mark enough times.
Who?
This man's someone called Kunal has spent 20 minutes saying, post my question, post my question.
I mean,
so,
I can't see it.
Pay attention, Nerm.
I mean, listen, I'm happy to accept my failures, but also fuck off.
I don't know where
your question, please.
I mean, there you go. What can I say? Do you know what I mean? There you go. But again, going back to Sister Suzannah, which is what we're all meant to be talking about again.
You know what? Oh, I just talked over you. Go.
No, please. I don't care.
Well, when you said that, it just made me realize that no one's actually talked about Sister Suzannah in Sister Suzannah. Was that what you were about to do?
And so, yes. And I was gonna then sort of link it to what I know Nikita's gonna say.
Down there. What you just did now is not good.
I know. I realized that. Then I
But
changed
what I did
position
was not
and then
good
went
either.
like this. Please continue, Anoushka.
Oh
I don't know
dear.
what else needs to continue right now.
Okay, so Sister
I'm
Suzannah,
liking
the
my
whole.
brown skin.
So the story of Sister Suzannah. Yes. Go on.
Okay, so obviously there's the kind of top line narrative that Nikita provided us these amazing words for, which are written from the point of view of a controlling man to his partner. But in the kind of back, like wrapping around that central line is the way I picture it. But like what's holding it is the chorus line that's repeating again and again and again for 5 minutes of the 6-minute song, which is about Sister Suzannah. And I think that those lyrics are so simple and repetitive that they could be almost ignored, but they're actually really key, because the way I see them is they're about the system that upholds a person like that central speaker in Sister Suzannah. You know, it's the idea that it's not a man, it's not even a woman, it's patriarchy, it's a system. You know, someone like an elder wise woman like the Sister Suzannah that we are talking about in the song could also be part of what's perpetuating something that allows a man the space or the upbringing or the belief system, the entitlement to come to that kind of expectation, and can also spoon feed the girls they raise to think this is what they're supposed to grow up into, you know. And so that's kind of the Sister Suzannah element of the song.
And that kind of reinforcement of patriarchy through really strong female figures that may be important in your life.
Well, I mean, there's a generational aspect, I guess, too, which isn't so insidious as much as it's just about progress, right? Like, we're all part of a forward moving process where I know we're all feminists and we all fight the fight, but people 40 years from now will be fighting it. People 10 years from now, 5 years from now will be fighting it with different nuance than we're fighting it today, right? So that's one thing. And I think that's not what the song is about, but what it's about is more that, I'm losing words. Does anyone else want to jump in? But like that it can be unexamined patriarchy within a woman as well, that can be just as painful. It's not just about like the person who's the villain. It's not that. It's not that. You know, it's people being trapped in the system.
And it's way more complicated than a binary fucking like finger pointing thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nikita, I know you had lots to say about this, so just jump in. What the fuck? Stop being so polite.
There's some very rude people in the chat.
Really? I can block them.
Yeah.
Tell me, I just block motherfuckers. Okay, right. Blocking. Block. 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 I don't give a fuck. Block. Just show me who I block these motherfuckers. I don't care. It's my platform, so fuck everybody. Yeah.
I love it.
Block. Block.
Nerm's got into full pirate mode. He's like,
Yeah.
just
Full uncle big brother mode, like block.
My kids love you all right now, by the way, because they're next door watching TV, like way past their bedtime.
Do you have to go?
naughty.
I'll go soon. But I'm like, hey, guess what, guys? You get to watch TV at 8 o'clock.
I've got to say, the curl is amazing, Anoushka.
The what?
The curl.
Fucking, they can't, like, they won't stay tamed. It doesn't matter what I do.
It's
Something.
fucking. It's like, you know, Superman had the S curl, right? It's like Anushka's like ear curl.
But your hair is so beautiful, Anoushka.
Yes.
It really is.
Well, thank you, says the woman with waist-length mermaid hair.
It's tangled. It gets tangled all the time. Like, it's like I love my hair, but like there are days where I'm just gonna chop it all off. It's like one day I'll reach that point where I'll just get tired of it.
Just go for the full, like.
This is around the time I just go and get a tray of shots and put them in front of everyone apart from Anushka, obviously, and say drink. And then I want to get back on point for a split second.
I'm so focused on being on point. Okay.
Just about this single. One last time. Okay, which is the point that it came out on Monday, and there's a video out, and who did the video?
Alev?
I did had to connect him in the chat. I don't know if that's how you do it. I'm like trying to get information out to people. I'm like, I think that's how it works. So he operates under the name Prehuman. Just posted it again. Hope it sort of helps to connect people to Johnny Sanders, who I worked with on a couple of videos before, and because the lyrics were so important for this one, and he's done incredible work for 3 videos with me. I was like, please, it was quite last minute. I was like, please, this is important, not just because we need it to be beautiful, but I think this song is so important that everyone needs to chip in. And he loved the song and thankfully worked on it so fast and made this beautiful lyric video because, yeah, your words, Nikita, they just need it. And I think they needed to be shown so people can really engage as well. Sometimes you just need to read something, and then but then also how he's done that, I think is really beautiful. And I want to know what Nikita had to say about Sister Suzannah.
No, I was just saying, like, that video is perfect. It was so on point, and I love how he used kinetic. I think it's kinetic text. He used it to, like, you know, just the words themselves came to life and embodied themselves. I thought that was so stunning.
Yeah.
And it takes like so much like talent to be able to do that, to be able to visualize words into what they are defined as. I thought that was so great. Like, I think everything about this was such a special experience. Yeah, the only thing I was going to say about like sister, my mom. So my mom heard the song. Aww. And she called me because she's an absolute cutie. Everything I do, she has to be like the first person, like just to, you know, get involved with it. So she's like, so who is Sister Suzannah is what she's thinking. So she thinks it's like one person for Sister Suzannah.
Yeah.
And I was just like, Mom, no, it's a metaphor, right? It's a metaphor for because the patriarchy is not just a thing about men, it's upheld by women as well. Like, and it's not, you know, there are the conscious women who uphold the patriarchy, and then there are women who don't even realize that it comes from unresolved trauma. And my mom is like, huh? She's like, do you think I do that? I was like, I love how you turned this into a thing about you and me. That this is what
IndianMom.com.
Are you talking about me?
Isn't that kind of true though?
Kind of. I think like I think without even meaning to, mothers pass on a lot of unresolved trauma to their daughters. And it's without meaning to. It's because we don't have, like, the amount that we are talking right now, our mothers' generations did not get to talk about these things the way that we are talking. And their mothers definitely didn't get to, you know, so what do you do with all, where does that trauma go?
Well,
where does it go?
If it's helpful at all, what I can say, I'm having the most incredible experiences at the moment with what do you do about it being like, as we continue to talk, as we continue to share, it also gives the older generation permission to look at their life experiences. I mean, I can't share other people's personal stories, but like the conversations I'm having with my own mother right now and other like female family members are just mind-blowing. Like, I'm seeing them name and vocalize things that they could never name and vocalize before, and it's us doing it that's helping them to look back and do the same, and then the nuance of our connection as we share that together is like transformational. It's amazing. So you know, it helps.
That's a really nice thing about this healing, is that it actually kind of works back in time as well, which I always find really magical in a way. But I would say definitely same with me and my mom in the past years, and really working on love letters in particular brought up so many beautiful conversations. And then obviously we met at a point in time, Anoushka, where our stories were very similar. And so yeah, I definitely very almost close to tears. It's so nice to hear that from your mom as well, Nikita, and that she's also same like my mom, just the first one who wants to listen, and then it's like, okay, what's being talked about here? And yeah, I agree. I read something, and I actually was looking for the book because there's like a pile of books here, and it's about something called the mother wound, which I wasn't 100% sold on the concept. I read an essay, and it put a lot of blame on women and mothers. It was a bit much for me, but it's. I also have another book, In Search of Our Mother's Gardens, which talks exactly about the trauma that patriarchy caused on our own mothers. Whatever that is gonna go somewhere, like you say, Nikita. That is gonna the frustration of how you didn't have space for yourself, and what you had to give up of your own, the embers you had to put aside, stop being so illuminating. You know what it says about in the song, that does happen on a certain level, and then you have this making yourself smaller. You carry that with you. You will automatically carry that with you in a family, and then you can obviously resolve this through time, thankfully, and we can obviously all work towards a better world where we are all allowed to stay whole.
Yeah, absolutely.
Men and women allowed to stay whole.
Yeah. I think this confrontation in regards to the structures that are being upheld, whether it's conscious or subconscious, because a lot of this upholding of structures it's unconscious. No one is like consciously going, well, I'm sure some people are, but no one consciously goes, I'm going to make someone's life absolutely miserable today by upholding an institution that deliberately harms them in a bigoted way. No one wakes up in the morning thinking like that. But through unconscious decisions, we end up doing it, right? And as long as that consciousness evolves, and I think that's what like the music, and that's what the music and the art and the writing and all of these things are meant to do. It's meant to like awaken something inside people, and I think it's doing that, and I think that's amazing. Like,
so how was it for you? Sorry, please continue.
I just was really touched by the comments, because obviously some mothers won't be available to speak to because they might have passed, or they won't be available because their pain is too big to be available. But I think that healing that you feel within yourself, that you can do for yourself and amongst the people that can do it with you, that still will on some level translate backwards. So it's not necessarily like, oh, how great, I could talk to my mother and there was this great release. I think it just happens whether or not our mothers are actually available to us. At least that's what I believe, because that's what I have to believe, because I think that's how it works. And also Anandi wrote that she felt great release hearing the track and singing it, and that was really nice to read as well.
She added to that of continuously moving back and forth. It lingers on within dormant until seen again. What is your process? What is your own process of healing constantly, if you feel the same way? Thanks. I'm so glad that you had that experience, first of all, and because your voice, I mean, for anyone that doesn't know on this, like Anandi Bhattacharya is here in the chat, and she's one of the singers on Sister Suzannah, but she is an amazing Indian classically trained singer who also does some incredible crossover work as well. But she has one of the most liquid voices I've heard. Like, she just sort of flies, and it's just beautiful. And we use her voice in a very particular way in Sister Suzannah, where it comes in just for really small bits in the song, right? Like, it comes in for one moment in the middle and one moment at the end that just lingers, but it gives so much depth and power to the song. Like, her voice just comes in and adds this emotional drama. So she's amazing. And I guess what is my healing process? I don't know if that's the question, but I think in context of art, it's just the act of making it, right? Like, I find the act of making art incredibly healing. And it's not something kind of quantifiable or measurable. It just happens, just by showing up. And I think there's a feeling I get more and more familiar with, which I know you guys know as well, but it's a feeling that I think used to be scarier to me years ago. And now it's more familiar and loved. Like, when I feel that fear, I kind of love that fear now, because I know from history enough times that fear has led me to the most powerful
Absolutely.
moment in my work. So when I feel the fear now, I don't feel it as a fear. I feel it as a, oh, here we are, okay. And I just know now I'm just going to go in. I'm going to keep going in, I'm not going to back off. but it's going to those places, but also one of the things about working with you guys and working on love letters in general is that it's been a part of my process of learning how to go to those places gently.
Yeah.
Because one can also go to those places from a place of trauma, and it can be like, I need to make something powerful with my pain, or I need to heal myself, so I'm going to write something raw, or whatever it might be. And if we're not ready, then we're not ready, or if something's too much, it's too much. Like no thought in the world, no logic in the world is going to make something feel safe or not feel safe when it comes to what we share artistically. And I think sometimes even just telling myself, like one of the things Alev and I did as we kept writing the layers of love letters was, we may not ever release this song, but let's just make the song we need to make. Let this song be the song it needs to be. Don't inhibit the song because it may be too much to release. Just write it now. And then the act of writing creates healing. The act of sharing creates confidence and courage and bravery. And then by the time of releasing it, it's no longer that traumatic original thing. It's become something else entirely.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's something which I feel with writing as well. There are a lot of books in me that I want to write that aren't necessarily marketable, right? Like, so there's that whole thing where people go, oh, if it's not marketable, is it worth writing it? And it's still worth writing. Like, a lot of times people will tell me something like, if no one's going to publish that book, or if no one's going to publish that poem, why are you going to write it? And it's like, because the poem wants to be heard, because the story wants to be told. That's not even, it's not even a question of whether it gets made or not. The question is, it wants to be told, and whether that's just between me and a piece of paper, or whether it gets published and lots of people see it, doesn't matter.
Yes, Nerm. You're like a school teacher.
No, I just like, I don't want to fucking interrupt, because I've never done a fucking four-way. So this is quite a thing. So I'm like, yo. And also with a bunch of women that I admire, I'm like, yo, I'm just going to interject and be that dickhead man. Like, yo, I'm saying this shit. But the point was that like, it's a difference between art and therapy, right? So therapy is for yourself, and art is what you put out into the world and how it meets its fucking audience. It's that whole thing about once you create art and put it out there, you lose control of it. Whereas with therapy, it's like, this is just my fucking soul bleeding onto whatever medium I choose. And the fact that you've all decided this is art is pretty fucking special.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I didn't fuck off.
I should probably fuck off, actually.
Fair. Well, you got to do like tuck-in times, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna go do the whole like rip them off an iPad and go to sleep now. You're not wired from like screens, That always goes really well, right, Alev?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, did I just say something and fuck up this whole conversation?
No.
You killed it. You killed the moment, dude.
Shit.
Yeah. You just buzzkill. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that a lot. I'm like, I think I did something weird. No.
Yeah, I just fucked it right up. Shit, I should just stay silent.
I saw one more question earlier. If we can talk about arrangement, and I think that fits in quite nicely with how you both described Nikita and Anoushka, of like something that just needs to be written or seen. I feel that way about arrangement. It's just the best flow for the thing that wants to be seen. There's really no process where I have like a recipe. Because like with I think with I definitely like simplicity. I like to just get the message, like just kind of get it down to really just the core of what is really just needed to convey and really get the message across. But then for arrangement, I think it's the shape, the kind of channel or the conduit, the shape of the conduit for whatever lives within that piece of work. and how that needs to get to you. That's arrangement to me.
I didn't understand what you just said.
Oh.
Anybody else?
So basically,
you were saying how simple your arrangements are, but the writing was so fucking complex. The conduit, the chart graph.
So basically, you have a message you want to get across. It's like with Nikita, when she'll write. Whoa!
Wait, is there an earthquake in London? Shit!
So basically, an arrangement is just a shape. So when Nikita, I would think, Nikita, I don't know, if you decide if something is a longer form or a novel or a poem, it's not that you go like, I'm writing a poem. It's like there is something that wants to be said, and then it turns out to have the form that it ends up with, which is the same for an arrangement of a song. It will end up having the shape like, oh, there's a verse here, there's a bridge here, not because I'm bored now, let's put in another chorus, but because whatever the message is in this song needed this exact length. It needed to have a rest here to chill out a moment within this mouth. I really like this, how the arrangement moves there, because it needed more rests and more just kind of being with the song. And then,
like you said, in this mouth needed more breath.
I thought that too. I was waiting for one of you to say it before I said it. It needs more breasts. And I was like, yo, I can't say this in this chat, but thank fuck Anoushka said it.
Oh, you can. There's been weirder things said in this chat so far.
Yeah, but dude, if we were all together in a bar, it'd be fine, but not publicly. No. Anoushka had to say it.
You should have thought about that an hour ago.
Because like he said a lot more embarrassing things in his life.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. And then I think with, for example, Space, that needed that arrangement because of what was just what it needed.
Yeah, the song needed to feel closed in because it was about the idea of not having space. So we made it busy and fast and like complicated.
But not even with like, let's make a busy song because it's about space and we don't have space. But that's just how it needed to live. And so the shape of it is how the message gets carried across. And then I put in the word conduit because it sounds cool.
Yeah, it sounded really cool, but I didn't know what you meant. So
yeah.
I've got to say, by the way, Space is an amazing tune. And the fact there's little space allows for kind of like a weird groove. I love it. It's my favorite tune.
But also for me with arrangement, like I really think in terms of instrumentation and like sonic qualities as well. Like I think maybe because of the kind of music I make where it isn't really labelable, like it's not really clear what it is. And I was always really against the idea that I just it feels like, 15 years ago, if I wanted to play the sitar and do something crossover, it either had to just be like sitar samples on top of electronics, or it had to be like a bass guitar, a rock drum kit. Do you know what I mean? Like,
so turning a rag into a song is going to be really fucking hard for you, right? So taking this whole other paradigm and switching it down. And your dad obviously did that, like, edited down rags to be more palatable. But for you, it's got to be really hard, right?
Well, I mean, it's different ways of telling stories, I guess. You can tell the same story with different words, right? And so I think for me, when we're making songs like on Love Letters, it's just about the sound world that we're creating. And I think for me, I'm very aware of the strengths and limitations of my instrument. That's where I'm coming from, obviously. So with the sitar, it has a very strong emotional quality. It has a real resonance that if you mic it a certain way can really fill up space with a lot of echo and like length to each note, but it will never be like a voice or like a wind instrument or a bowed instrument. It's a plucked instrument, so ultimately there's a limit to how like fluid I can be. I can try my, there's a lot of technique to be fluid on a sitar, but there's a limit to it. And so I'm always really attracted to working with the things that I cannot do, because then the song becomes complete, So it's like to have voice, to have shanai or flute, to have cello or these things that then complement tonalities that the sitar can't provide.
And then when you do sitar solos and they make people cry, then you realize they do. So shut up.
No, I'm not saying there's anything like wrong with the sitar, but we all do different things.
No, but the emotional connection is obviously felt, is my point.
Well, no, I think there's something about that kind of Western classical concept of like, you have a string section, you have a wind section, you have a brass section, you have a percussion section. Like, there's a fucking reason for that, And so coming from a soloistic culture, we can be soloists. That's fine. Like that will exist and be full, you know. But if you want to step out and do something else, then I think I've been really influenced by that. So I might fuck up what that means completely. And, you know, it might be a Shania along with upright bass, along with, you know, triggered drum pads and a sitar, but you've still got percussion, string, you know, wind.
So it's about where you can't go with this instrument, but it's still you.
Sure.
I'm asking. I'm not telling Basket. Like,
well, no, I think at that point it's not about me. When I'm thinking as an arranger, it's about the song, which exists outside of me. I might be in the center of it, but it's not me, and I'm not it. I want the song to sound and feel complete, and I can't tell every story. I mean, I can't. So I think that's what's interesting. You know, Alev has a similar experience. We're performers. I mean, she's a vocalist, but we're instrumentalists. She uses her voice as an instrument. But we're also composers. We're producers. We're arrangers. So we have to think sometimes from a less egoistic place. You know, there's times I want to take all the good lines. God damn it, you know. But I have to give them to someone else in order for my song to carry the same weight. And then maybe I come back in after the Shania. And then maybe I get to make people cry because the Shania line set it up, and then I get to take it somewhere.
Yeah.
If I try and do the whole thing, it doesn't do it.
So how does, Nikita, how do you feel that you wrote these words that Anoushka said and claims all the glory?
What do you mean? No, she doesn't ever do that.
She really doesn't ever.
Just try to like. You wait until I meet you in person.
I can't wait. Please punch me in real life. I beg you, please. Not in a weird way, by the way. Just like in just general fun. No, wait. Shh, I'm gonna shut up.
General fun. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I feel it's so beautiful to hear my words being read aloud by you, Anoushka. Like I remember the first time. I sent like the first draft of the song back to you guys, and I was like, please forgive the quality. It's me speaking, and it's my voice, and I sound like a potato.
Sorry, voice with a W. I'm just going to take the piss now.
But yeah, I said that, and I was like, and then I heard Anoushka say the words, and they came alive. Like every part of the cadence that I wanted, like I needed to hear, you like took it and you made it fly, and I thought that was so beautiful. Like I cried the first time I heard the song. I cried, like proper ugly tears. So I was like, this is so like beautiful. And like, you know, he came running in from the next room and was like, are you okay? I'm like, listen to this. And he's like, I can't tell if you're happy or you're upset. Like, what's happening over here? And I'm like, I'm so happy. It's like, but you know that reaction that I had listening to you, and listening to like my words come alive like that. I don't think there's anything more powerful as a writer than watching your words come alive that way. I don't think like, you know, it's an amazing experience, and it's hard to put it. I'm a writer and I can't put it into words the way it made me feel. So yeah, I thought it was amazing.
I love you guys. I should go. I feel like a very bad mom right now.
Thank you, Anoushka. Thank you, Alev.
Thank you.
And in fact, Nikita, are you willing to chat more shit now?
Sorry?
Are you willing to chat more shit now?
What does that mean?
Like stay with him. He's drunk and
oh, yes, of course.
Bye guys, I love you. See you.
Bye.
Mwah, mwah.
Bye, Alev. Bye, Anoushka. Love you guys. Mwah.
Wait, I don't know how to.
Wait, just leave. Wait, hang on. I can't. Just leave, man. What's wrong with you? You must be Alev. You must be so much fun at parties. I'm staying. Everybody is having fun. I must stay. My name is Alev Lenz. I will stay at parties. No matter how much time it takes, I will be here.
Oh, I know. Wait, I can actually click on the cross because I thought but that was you.
No. But Alev, are you back in England soon or not?
I don't know what traveling's going to be like.
Okay, let's hang out when you're back.
Wait, but it also says thank you for singing Sister Suzannah live in Delhi before COVID. That was our last show. Yes, that's so nice. That is really, really nice. And I also want to say, I don't know anyone of Anoushka's standing in the music world that actually shares more of her light than Anoushka, especially in this moment, because it's her album
she's
and
a
her
fucking
music,
G, of
and
course.
she has to like stand behind it in a way, you know, because it's like your release and you're going to be the face of it. And with Love Letters and this, and especially right now, Nikita, with Sister Suzannah, the generosity, I can really feel it from Anoushka, and this song has been so special. So I just wanted to add that in there.
But also, if she was a dickhead, we wouldn't be friends with her.
I mean, true, but I mean, unless we're also lots of dickheads, and then we're like lots of dickhead friends.
Yeah, true. See,
which I think might be accurate.
It also works that way.
I think that's actually the most accurate thing.
But yeah,
there are so many I know from the writing world, and I have friends who write lyrics for singers, and I know for a fact that Anoushka is someone who shares her light so much compared to so many other people, you know,
because she didn't have to have us on this much, you know.
She doesn't.
Like so much in the music world on a level of songwriters or producers, or, you know, it's kind of like whatever. So okay, well, I'm gonna leave you two to it. I'll watch some more and laugh because it was so much fun.
Well, look,
it was so much fun, Nerm.
Love you.
We'll see you again when traveling feels safe.
Yes, 100%. Love you, Alev.
Bye. I now know where to go.
Excellent. Excellent. So Nikita, hi. It's me and you. Right. I'm gonna go wee while you talk to people.
Why have you brought me to the toilet?
No, but I just need to wee.
Yeah, but why have you brought me to the toilet?
We are the oldest friends. We can talk. So shush. Anyone who's got questions for Nikita, please ask.
Are you okay? He's actually doing this. You're going to regret this tomorrow.
Why? I've done this in lots of chats with people I'm very comfortable to, and like, big up Chelsea, and I'm out. Yes. Well, no. There you go. But look, Nikita, like, how was it working on your first musical project?
I think it was like an amazing experience. I'm sorry, this is really weird.
It's not weird at all. We do this all the time, and you know.
It's true. It's true. It's really funny.
Basically, every time on the loo, I call Nikita and like talk bollocks to her. So it's fine.
It's true. It's true. Like he literally, it's one of those things where he actually said to me.
And by the way, I just want to clarify in the comments, like someone's saying I'm drunk. I was like, yes, I have been drunk this entire time anyway. So yes.
I like that the Nerm and I are very old friends. Like it's not
a new shocking thing. Yeah.
People are like, can you this is really funny. This is really funny. But anyway, what I was gonna say was that I think writing my first I think Anoushka made it really special. I think Alex made it very special. Like, I don't know if other people's experiences are anywhere close to this, but it was so, the process was so much fun, you know? There was no,
so how? Because like,
none of that. I think,
you're a poet, so you sit in a room with your like Cure albums and a pencil and a notepad and depression, and you just write. And then it's like, and it's a whole different world to music, right? Music's like about your ego. So poets, typically poets hide behind their fucking boo-hoo-hoo vibes. And musicians have to go on stage. But you seem to cross that barrier in such a way that's unique.
Do I?
Yeah, 100%. Like, okay. Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Do you know who does this really, really well, and who I really want to be when I grow up, when it comes to poetry?
Big up Nikesh. Nikesh is here. Dokla.
Oh, Nikesh!
Actually, let's add him.
He's like, we're still going.
Sorry, please continue talking, and I will add another male voice to this whole thing, just to sort of balance the genderness.
No, I was just saying, like I was just saying that, oh, thank you very much. You think I look very nice. Thank you very much for saying that. But yeah, the person I want to be when I grow up, and who I think does this really beautiful thing where she's able to take something very difficult and turn it into something humorous while still keeping the tragic element and really hitting that point home. Selena Godin, she is so amazing. Like, if you have ever had a chance to witness Selena Godin's work live, like, that is transcendent stuff. And her first book, just Mrs. Death, what a revelation of a book. Hey, it's Nikesh.
This whole evening has been a shit show. This is amazing. By the way, I just want to clarify. I don't need another male to join our overly female conversation. This is just literally how the family rolls.
Yeah.
I've been dipping in and out over the course of 4 hours, and your shirt has got progressively unbuttoned every single time. Every single time I dip in.
No! Can you like chill?
Well, there you go. Wait, shit. Where's your book, Nikesh? I can't find it.
Yeah, sorry, I was starting on my Selena Godin complete love fest and about how much I love her and how I want to be her when I grow up. But yeah, she's just amazing. And Mrs. Death, such an amazing book. But watching her perform live, that she's able to make the audience laugh and cry in the same 10 minutes.
And Nikesh does that by saying, "Hi, I'm Nikesh Shukla," and everyone laughs and then cries because he's going to continue.
You stop being mean to Nikesh.
Okay.
Stop it.
These 3 ways are fucking brilliant. I've got to say, I love this new tech. It's fucking awesome. I don't know how it's going to make things work moving forward, but it's basically like a private chat that's just public.
This is you're in your 3rd hour of doing this. This is like comic relief or something. It's like a telethon.
Well, you fucking joined, you prick. You could just instead of standing on the sidelines and being sarky, motherfucker said, "I'll join in."
Yeah, I joined in for a second to say hello, and then I'm going to go and eat my dinner. I've been teaching all evening. I'm hungry.
Oh, you've been teaching the babies. Or you've been teaching the
yeah, he has a whole load of cards to educate his children.
Business cards, yeah. No, I mean I've been teaching on my writing a novel course. Yeah,
wow,
he's out of control.
That's amazing.
He's unstoppable.
What are you doing? No, I've been drinking for the whole 3 hours.
Right, I'm gonna go pee again. You guys fucking talk and be nice.
Did you see what he did, by the way, Nikesh?
Oh, God.
He took the phone, the live, into the bathroom whilst he was peeing and kept talking to me whilst he was. I think he's forgotten this is public.
I think he's very aware that it's public. Anyway, I'm going to keep you company till he comes back from the toilet.
Oh, it's so good to see your lovely face.
Yeah, you too. It's been too long.
It really has.
Yeah.
It's been forever. It really feels like it's been forever.
We're going to bring back our writing clinic, I think.
Yes, I think we're going to have to, because it just, I can't go this long without hanging out with you. I remember when before lockdown happened, I think you were one of the last people I saw before lockdown happened.
Oh, mate.
I feel sad.
I realised today that I'm really bored. Dangerously bored now. It's not good. Anyway, this is just stuff that we could be saying offline to each other. We should be entertaining. Hey, aren't you Sunday Times best-selling author, Nikita Gill? Hey, aren't you the co-writer of the new Anoushka Shankar record, Nikita Gill? I got your name wrong. That's awful, isn't it? Anita Gill. What book am I currently reading? I'm reading Mona by Paula. I'm really sorry. I'm not going to butcher her surname, but it's very fun.
It looks amazing.
It's very fun.
This
Right
has
now,
been like.
I'm going to go and eat my dinner now. Goodbye.
Are you really going to fuck off now, Dukla boy? Really? I just left. He left, the bastard. What the fuck? I couldn't even cuss him hard. Ah, man. So Dukla's, for everyone like wondering what Dukla boy means, a little yellow squares of cake. That are basically, you know, what that is. Are you doing fucking filters? Right, fine. This is more appropriate for me. Yes. That's kind of, I should do all my interviews like this. But so, Nikita.
Yes.
Right, before this all goes off the fucking rail. Wait, actually, what the fuck? Hang on. How do I stop this? Dokla, yes. Okay, so the point is are you really just playing with filters now?
I'm sorry, I've stopped, I promise I've stopped.
I mean, for fuck's sake. We're trying to fucking promote something here, you bastard. And you're just like, right, I'm just playing with like this. Hi, my name's Nikita. And I wrote a song with Anoushka Shankar, but you know, it's fine. Ha! You know, fuck. I mean, shit. Excellent.
I've stopped.
Bakwas FM over here. Actually, you know what? If there's any of our other mates on here, that'd be quite funny. But the point is that you writing a poem for music is a whole other thing.
Yeah, I mean, like I think it was.
Go on, talk normally now.
So the first draft of this poem, it only had 11 points.
Okay.
Sorry, I just said the first draft of this poem only had 11 points, and like I remember looking at it and going, that feels off.
Right.
Because it needs 12 points. It has to be an even number. And I'm just like in my head, I'm thinking, I feel like that's a very strange thing to get hung up on. And then luckily for me, I I sent the song to Anushka and Alev, and they were both like, no, it needs 12 points. And I'm like, so it's not just me. It's not just me. It has to, like, I'm not going crazy. It does need those 12 points. And it's such a funny thing that all three of us felt exactly like that. Like, and it's such a strange thing for all of us to go, no, this needs 12 points. But that's how the entire experience of writing this was. We were so in sync with each other, you know, like where I had obviously when you're creating something and something doesn't sound right to you, you put it into the, you know, the comments of like, oh, this doesn't sound quite right to me. How does it sound to you guys?
So for you, that's written like so many books and so many books of poetry and bestsellers and like just to clarify the people that don't know, man, I'm slurring like a dickhead. So the point is, Nikita, you are an esteemed poet who sold 1 billion books, right? And so creative uncertainty is an inherent part of that process. Like second guessing yourself is a part of that whole fucking process. Why was this any different?
I think
like even with your success is the point.
I think this was different because it was the first time I've ever created something like this. It's the first time I've ever worked with music, right? So with poetry, the thing is, it's just you and the page and the words that you put on it. So the cadence, the rhythm, the rhyme, if you want to use rhyme, all of that depends on you and the page. And in a way, there's a lot of pressure on that. In this situation, I knew that I would have like help in the sense of like, you know, Alev and Anushka's feedback, but also Anushka's voice and Alev's beautiful work and the song itself holding the poem up. So you are kind of thinking about different things as well. So it was a very different experience to know that it wasn't just me, the page, and the words I put on it.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really interesting. And it was really fun. I love new things. And I, as an artist, I think it's so much fun to get out of your comfort zone, which is why like every time I write a new book, it's something completely out of my comfort zone. But this was
although still deeply personal.
Yes, it has to be. If it's not deeply personal, it's not authentic, right? That's what Anoushka was talking about earlier as well. It has to be honest. And everything is very honest to my experiences, including this song. It was so honest to something which I had gone through. Coercive control is something which I've experienced in relationships, which I was never able to name. And that's a really interesting piece of feedback which I've been getting about this song from women, especially, who are writing to me and saying, that's, you know, what you said in that, like that section of the song that you said, you know, I've carved a special place just for you. You know, all you need to do is make yourself fit.
Yeah.
So many people have like gone, that's it. That's what he did. That's what he said to me. That's what, you know, and it's like that moment of like, click, oh, I can name it now. You know, it's funny because it's almost like the Rumpelstiltskin story, you know, where you have to name the thing that's hurting you to make it go away.
But also, I think it's kind of like, well, here's my ideal partner. If you were that male archetype, it's like, I've carved this seat for you next to me. All you have to do is just fit in that seat. All you have to do is just be what I want you to be. And you know what? It's so simple to say it, but to act it, it's a whole different fucking ballgame.
Well, exactly. I think like one of the things I've always been very afraid of is like creating the same work over and over and over again. I never want to do that. And
yeah, but still, I mean, sorry, I'm going to cut you off really hard there, because there's a certain golden thread, which is that's what you do.
Yeah.
So you inevitably will draw from the same well.
Yeah. To an extent, but like, I think there's so something really exciting has kind of come through, and I'll mention it really briefly over here. I've been trying to go into fiction for a while now, and a thing has come through where I'm doing a narrative horror podcast. I think I mentioned this to you, and it's come through actually, the thing which I've been working on, this idea, and it's something very new for me. I've never tried it before, and it's the concept of women disappear all the time. That's the preface of the entire show. Women disappear all the time, and people don't care. They don't care. And that in itself is a little horror story, isn't it? Women disappear all the time and people don't care. And this whole thing happened with Sarah Everard. And there was so much, I was so angry, but I was like, this is why I do what I do. You know, this entire thing which happened, it was after I finished writing this whole like pilot for this show. And initially, like the people I was pitching to were like, oh, you know, who are you sure you did that? Does anyone want to hear this story? Blah, blah, blah. And then this thing happened and suddenly everyone wanted that story. And I kept thinking, this is how little people listen to women. It takes someone disappearing and something so painful happening for people to listen to women. And that's what the entire like show is about. So I think it's just interesting that it's a different story, but you're right, it is from the same well of stories.
I think that the tragedy of man, I feel like such a dick talking to you and all of my sisters this evening, because I'm like, fuck, like, who the fuck am I to say anything? But I've said that a million times this evening too, so it's fine. I am a dick, and I am very privileged, and I appreciate all that. But it's kind of tragic that there can't be lessons learned from that experience or even that exposure. And I'm no proponent of holding myself up at all, because I'm a dickhead. 1,000,000% a dickhead. But I appreciate being able to have fucking conversations with you and our sisters that can enlighten me more. You know,
This is exactly what we need from our male accomplices and our allies, is just, you know, that people listen and believe us. Like, I find that it's so sad that till now all of this is happening, like all of the evidence is around us, and there's so many people who don't believe this is a problem. Like, and you know, they don't want to listen. The thing is, they don't want to listen. It's very easy to ignore a problem and think it'll go away, right?
so like you're from Delhi, right?
Right.
And you know the Delhi vibe. It's kind of the same thing, no?
Yeah, it is. And then that again, like this story about the fact that women disappear and people don't care. It's been with me since I was a child, because I grew up in New Delhi, and I've seen how women disappear and how women reappear again, and they are not the same. I've seen these things happen firsthand. I've held my friends after terrible experiences. I've watched people belittle those experiences and pretend those experiences don't exist. I feel like it's a sad reality that women have to plan our days around that danger every single day. We do. We plan our entire days every single day around that danger. And just to be, the fact that we're still fighting to be heard is sad, but at least we're being heard finally, you know, whether it's one person or whether it's 10, it means a lot just to be heard, which goes to show how little we have been heard.
And 100%. And equally, I want to say that I am not to blame. Like, fuck that. Don't put any credence on, like, me at all. I'm a dickhead and I'm a twat as well, quite frankly. So no.
You're
in the
not a
comments, I'm like, yo,
dickhead.
no, listen. It's the whole point where it's not a performative thing. I'm a little bit drunk, so I can't say this properly. Anyway, the point is that I agree with what you're saying, but also I am not a fucking light to follow at all. I'm as much of a dickhead as anyone else, is my point. And we all need educating. We all need talking to. There's not no fucking line here. We're all idiots that need educating. And I'm still learning. That's it, man. But also, like that, like writing for music and writing Sister Suzannah. Like, what did you draw from in terms of the pantheon of ancient? What's the word I'm looking for? Theology.
Yeah. So this was really interesting, right? I think it's so cool that you brought this up, because Anoushka literally pointed it out, what the three of us were doing together. And she's like, I think it's really interesting, Nikita, that you're bringing the goddess mythological aspect into it, because there's a line in the song that says, you are a goddess, so you need to be pure like a goddess, basically. And then in the next point, he basically says to her, but know your limits. Even goddesses don't cross their gods. They know, and I thought, like, when I was looking at that, I was thinking of all of the mythologies that I know. And, I'm a big lover of mythology. I read all of them. Even the goddesses have been written into a frame of patriarchy. There's always like a hierarchy to the way that the goddesses, you could be the most powerful goddess, and there is still a god who is more powerful than you and who will use that power against you. And that's where those two lines in the song come from. There's this idea of putting sacred and holy onto women, and how motherhood and womanhood is like intrinsic to each other.
That's so fascinating. Fuck. I think the whole idea of like applying goddesshood is another mechanism of control is so fucking deep.
Yeah, that's what we were trying. You put someone on a pedestal, but in a gilded cage.
Yeah, because that's Fuck, that's so deep. Yeah.
It's been so interesting writing this song because it takes a lot of like, especially talking to Alev and Alev's there.
She's there.
Mwah. Talking to Alev and Anoushka about like our collective experiences. That was one thing that really stood out. It really did. It was like how you even like someone who says they really, really, really love you. And I think what we were all talking about when we were writing the song was this vibe that came in through the song, right? This very it's almost this gaslighty, quite creepy vibe, which I think what we were thinking about,
which I specialize in. No, I'm joking.
It was Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. I think that's how you say it. But yeah, that vibe that was coming through of the way that when I was writing it, I wanted it to sound gaslighty because that's how we'd experienced it. Like in the guy's head, he's being very reasonable. Not only is he being reasonable, it's just like, this is what you have to do this, right? Like, look at what all I'm giving you. I'm giving you all of this. You're a victory dance now. You are this now. I'm giving that to you. And I think that's so interesting how all of her successes as a woman have been taken from her in a way because he's taken full credit for them. Like, you don't have any of your own successes or experiences. I have given those to you because I made you a goddess. Remember that. You owe that to me. And that song, it's so interesting the way I mentioned earlier on when Alev and Anoushka were on, and they were also talking about it, how there are men in the comments feed of this song who are going, this is a love letter. Oh my God, it's such a beautiful love letter. Oh, and I'm just like, you're exposing yourself. Do you understand what you're doing?
I mean, yeah, there's a certain amount of sort of the interplay between genders, or between even taking gender away, but power dynamics, which play themselves out in such a tragic way. Yeah. Fuck. Yeah.
I think I'm losing battery now, so even I'm going to have to go.
So we should all go. Yes. Excellent. We're going to end this on a real downer, which is like, yes, we'll get to a really, really strong point, but also my battery's dying, so I must go now. But also, I need to pee also. So there you go. But look, thank you so much.
But I think this conversation is great because we're talking about things that people aren't necessarily comfortable talking about. And having this conversation around the song is really important because we want to draw attention to the fact that domestic abuse stats have been so high, and it's something that Anoushka has, been talking about, the South Hall Black Sisters, and how we really want to support them. And, it's all of it is interconnected, right? And all I can hope is that it helps. Right?
So, wait, there's a comment here from Arjun saying, can you quickly summarize what you went through?
In the creative process?
In the last 3 hours. And you're the writer, so please,
we talked about empire, and we talked about colonialism, and we talked about Preeti Patel, we talked about Rishi Sunak, and we talked about the UK government, and we talked about coronavirus, we talked about the pandemic,
And please continue. We talked about everything. Whole thing. And also
hair, sex, drink, as Anoushka says.
Hair, sex, drink. Okay, yes. Hair, sex, drink is the new single from Anoushka Shankar that we should all go get. Anoushka Shankar has a new single called Hair, Sex, Drink that we should all go get.
I'm actually going to go before this dies.
I need to wee too. Bye, guys. Mwah. Thank you so much. Love you, Nikita.
Love you, Anoushka. Love you, Alev. Love you, guys.
Mwah. Thank you for staying with us for like 10 hours, however the fuck long it's been. I need to have dinner now. Bye.